Luna and Ridge are a bonded pair of coyotes, rescued from a rural farming area where drought and development had pushed them too close to human settlements. As food became scarce, they began scavenging near farms, leading to rising tensions with locals. Wildlife officials eventually captured them, Ridge with a snare injury, and Luna suffering from a respiratory infection. The pair was deemed non-releasable due to their injuries and loss of habitat. As soon as Sam had heard about this pair of coyotes, he figured SPH would be their best option in a forever home. So, with the help of Miguel, a senior animal keeper who specializes in canines, Luna and Ridge were brought to a Shaded Pines Animal Haven where they can live out their days in peace. Hey y'all, Simply Is Logical here, and welcome back to the channel. Either way, thank y'all for joining me for today's video of Shaded Pines Animal Haven. We are finally back with another episode of Planet Zoo. This episode I had recorded several months back, right before we stopped Planet Zoo content on the channel for a little bit, and I'm just now getting around to the voiceover for it. To be honest, I had completely forgotten that I had recorded this in general. And so I found it on my computer, already made and everything, just needed a voiceover, so that's what I'm doing now. Really quickly, before we get into too much detail, I do want to say if I am very nasally or just don't quite sound right, I do have a minor cold going on. Where we're living at right now, it's very cold, or it's starting to get cold because winter's coming, and I don't do well with the cold. My husband's not home right now. He's with his family. And so I am having to take the dogs to go potty at night and stuff like that. And with it being so cold, I've come down with a minor cold. So I am sorry if I'm nasally or if there's like cuts or anything in the voiceover that may sound weird or not right. It's probably because I sneezed or something like that I had to cut out. Anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about what we're building. So this video was supposed to go out, I believe, the week after we got the coyotes, which came in the America's pack that we just got, I think. And I think that's the name of the pack that we just got, was the Americas, right? I don't know. If you know, let me know down below. I'm not good with pack names or anything like that. Anyways, we're building for the coyotes. This video was supposed to come out several weeks ago, but then I kind of got tired of Planet Zoo content on the channel, and that's when we switched over to Paleo Pines. Anyways, for today, you can see that we're currently working on the gate, or the fencing, for the entire habitat. This fencing we will use for the coyotes, but we will also use it for 2 other canines that we're going to have in this park as well. Those canines aren't going to come right now. They will come, I think, not next week, but the week after, because next week I have a Paleo Pines episode I want to do. And then the week after, I think we might do the second half of the canine facility, is what I'm going to call it. And you can see you saw for the fence that it was relatively simple. Just a regular fence, a little bit, I think it's like a 2 meter wide and like 4 meters tall, I think, something like that. Maybe a little bit over 4 meters, like 4.5 maybe, because of the base or whatever. But it's relatively simple to build. Here you can see we are now working on a viewing or a guest window of some sort. This is, or I guess more of like a shade structure is what I should say. Should say. For this, just plaster pieces for the bottom, or for as like the base, as it's, so it's not just attached to the ground, it's attached to something that's attached to the ground. for digging parameters or whatever, because coyotes and the other two canines we have in this facility are relatively good diggers. And to prevent them from digging, we have the plaster pieces that act as if they go down deeper into the ground. That way they can't dig out of their enclosures either. They really don't, but it looks like it does. Anyways, here you can see we're adding the shade, and these new keyring, I don't know what these are actually called. You can see it on the screen. But these new little ring pieces, like the attachment facets, are so good for little details like this, whether it's for like screws or a door, like a teeny tiny little door handle or something like that. These are such good pieces to use. I do wish that they were that we had another option where it was kind of like more angled, like the back end, like the stick part was like angled onto the like at another angle or something. But overall, these are really good pieces, and they come in useful not just in this build, but in other builds that I will be doing from here on out. The America's pack in general has really good pieces. I was supposed to kind of do like an America's pack like overview whenever this pack came out, but as you all know, we stopped planning to do content, or we paused planning to do content, I should say. And so planning to do content was quite sparse on the channel, and I just wasn't really feeling opening the game, to be honest. Because whenever I did, my game would crash, and so it wasn't very fun for me to play because I could only play for like 10 minutes or so, and then it would crash on me. Here you can see we are now working on terraforming the landscape and all that. We have a small little pool that we're putting in right now, and we're just gonna, as normal, we would plaster the bottom and all that sort of stuff that you can see we're doing now. And overall with this habitat, I am very, very pleased with it. This habitat looks so natural, so good, and I'm just proud of myself because, as most of you know, I don't care to terraform in the game at all. If I don't have to do it, I will make sure that I have to stay away from terraforming in this game. But for this habitat and for the other two habitats we're going to have in the canine facility, I knew we would need terraforming because you want hills, you want little valleys and stuff like that they can run around, and you can watch them walk on the hill and all this and that. And so I knew that I would want terraforming, and so I just went ahead and did it with the little circle tool. And those stamp tools are really good for terraforming quickly and easily too. Now you can see we are just adding in the enrichment. We have a little pronghorn enrichment. I tried to go with some because we have the zebra and I think the pronghorn, and those are the only two that we have. And I wanted to go with something that would make more sense in this park. And so I went with the pronghorn, obviously, because we have pronghorn in the zoo, which is kind of ironic. I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, it is what it is. And then we have the little meat prey sack, I think that's what that is, and the tug rope at the top. They don't really use the tug rope all that much, though, to be honest. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's inaccessible and that's why they don't use it, or if it's just they don't want to use it. I'm not sure. Now we are working on a quick painting of the habitat, making sure all the animals are happy with the painting and all this and that and everything. Just the fine, minute details that always come at the end of any build. And you can see that for the fencing, I did do 2 different variations. I didn't show the variations, and I am sorry for that, but I did 2 different variations. I did the one that you saw me build, which was the one with the mesh window looking in, and then I did another variation that was the exact same, just duplicated, but without the mesh and the corrugated metal all the way up it. So it's like a solid piece, like a solid wall. That way the coyotes can't look out or anything. We do have 3 different viewing areas for this habitat, which I find really nice and I quite enjoy. I like that they see the coyotes at first and then they continue to walk around. They can get another look at them potentially if they're on the hill, like a small little peep through, I guess. But it's bigger than just a peep through. And then they walk around some more to like the back of the facility. And they get a look at the pool that the coyotes can have that they don't get to see, because if you're at the first viewing gallery coming from like the beaver habitat, if you're at that first viewing gallery, they're not going to be able to see the pool because of the terraforming and stuff like that. And I quite enjoy how it's 3 different views, 3 different areas and stuff like that. And as we're doing all the foliage and all these last minute details and everything, I do want to say that the building that you see in the background, I did record me making the walls for that. However, when I got back into Planet Zoo not too long ago, I decided I hated that wall, and so I deleted it and redid it. And you will see the new walls in cinematics this week, I think. And I think I build them next week, or whenever we do the next habitat for this facility. And now we're on to just regular stuff, the grass, I don't know, all the different foliage that we use in this game. Again, I am dealing with the minor cold, and so my brain isn't quite remembering things and stuff like that. And so I'm just very tired, and I'm not really able to like focus all that well on like small, minute details. And although this speed build is only 14 minutes, it has made me quite exhausted, and I am probably going to go take a nap, even though I just woke up about 30 minutes ago while I'm doing this speed voiceover. But anyways, I am going to leave y'all with this. We do have 3 minutes left, but like I said, I am very tired. I do want to go back to sleep. I need to do some other things around the house, get the house done and stuff, because my husband comes home tomorrow. He's been away with his family. They've been going through some personal things, and so he's been there helping them and everything. And so with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know I enjoyed building this quite heavily. And there are some things in the cinematics that you will see that don't get put in here, like the details I do in the backstage, because we do a whole backstage for them and everything, and the new building and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. And now you can see we're just adding in some last minute logs, branches, sticks, that sort of stuff that will just kind of frame the pull and the build. And here I do add 3 different trees, kind of like in a single file line when you're looking from above. And I hate how that looked when I built this. I was like, oh, that looks good. But when I went back in just not too long ago to redo this, I was like, I don't know how I like that all that much. And so I did decide to move some of the trees around, which you'll probably see those moved in the cinematics too. But anyways, again, like I said, that's enough for this week's episode. I do hope y'all enjoyed it, and please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye, guys.